Thank you, Pass. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, I wish to apply myself to the preceding protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today is indeed a very great day, which marks a very key milestone in our fervent effort to fight against alcohol and drug abuse. This menace is slowly creeping in as a threat to the survival of this country. Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity to thank you for setting the tone at the top and leading from the front. For us, your lieutenants, all we can do is make sure that this is a success and totally obliterate this menace of alcohol and drug abuse. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank my CS, Professor Kindiki, for your strategic guidance in dealing with this menace. I'd like to recognize the PS for hand-holding the multi-agency team in terms of facilitation and leadership. Your Excellency, I didn't walk alone. I'd like to acknowledge with your indulgence the presence of my board members. I'd like to recognize the presence of Reverend Dr. Stephen Mairori, the Chairman Board of Nacada. I'd like to recognize the presence of Vice Chair Ann Mathu, Nacada. I'd like to recognize the presence of board members Alhaji Olenado, Ali Swale, and Dr. Mare. I also came with the management team that made this function a success. I'll just call the top management. I'd like to call upon Dr. Orlando. She's the one in charge of programs in Nacada. I'd like to acknowledge Koske. He's the one in charge of compliance and supply suppression. I'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Mwangi. He's a corporate communication lead. And lastly, and very importantly, I'd like to recognize the presence of George Karisa, who will take us through the outlook of alcohol and drug abuse in the country. George, karibu.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is George Karisa. I'm the Regional Manager, Nacada, here in Coast. I'm going to take you through the situation of alcohol and drug abuse in this region. First, I want to concur with the Deputy President that Coast region has gravely been affected by young men wasting themselves in drugs, cheap labor, and its related effects. To be frank, the situation is very bad in this region. As you have heard, out of the 26,000 IDUs, injecting drug users, 18,000 of them are from coast. That is from Kilifi, Lamu, Mombasa, and Kwale. So the problem is such that big that needs all the concerted efforts of everyone. We usually do surveys as a lead agency every 5 years, and the last survey that we did, that was in 2022, it indicated that the prevalence of any substance of abuse, alcohol, cat, or tobacco in this region is higher than the national rate. That means we are looking at every substance of abuse. The national survey, the national prevalence rate is lower than what we have here in the region. The region is largely affected by hard drugs like heroin, bang, and of course muguka, especially the 4 counties, the coastline surveys, counties of Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, and Lamu. So here huwa tunasema the problem of drugs imefika to an extent tunasema ni donda sugu sasa. We need to do something to this problem. The age, of course, the age mostly affected by this the problem of alcohol, according to the survey which we did in 2022, is between 15 and 35 years. These are very productive age group, na tunaona kwamba inaangamia na mihadarati. So according to the survey which we did, we were looking at those people who have used at least one drug of substance. That means either mtu ameshai kutumia bangi, tobacco, alcohol, any form of substance use. So when you look at the findings that we had, the national rate was 17.5%. That is the national rate, preference rate, for those people who have used at least one type of a drug, at least moja hapo. The prevalence rate was 17.5. But when you compare it with the cost preference, is that cost preference rate was 18.1 for those people who have used at least one type of a drug, whether ametumia bangi, sigara, pombe, heroin, ni 18.1. That means our preference rate, our regional preference rate, iko juu kuliko the national preference rate. Alcohol, as had already been mentioned by the Deputy President, the national preference rate ya alcohol iko 11.8, but cost is at 13.9. So hapo bado tuko juu above the national preference rate. Tobacco, and with tobacco, hapa tunaongea kuhusu tobacco and tobacco products, including akina kuber, akina shisha, and shisha, Your Excellency, has also been a problem in this region. Shisha has been outlawed, but we still have a few places where watu wanavuta shisha, but we are working towards addressing that problem. So when you look at tobacco use, the national preference rate was 8.5, while the regional for cost now was 10.8. So already we are above the national preference rate. With cards here we are including miraa and also muguka. So the national rate, the preference rate was 3.6, while the regional preference rate was 4.8. Cannabis, we were at the national preference rate is 1.9, even at the regional preference rate is also 1.9. So the region is doing badly as far as consumption of alcohol and drugs is concerned. When you look at what we call potable spirits, this is what is the wines and spirits. From the survey findings, coast region is second from central. Central is the prevalence rate for central was 4.1. Coast was second with 3.2%. And of course, the national consumption rate for potable spirits was 2.5. So the national preference rate was 2.5 for potable spirits, but the cost rate was 3.2. As the Deputy President had mentioned, we have a serious problem of hard drugs here. We have a problem with hashish, cocaine, and heroin. So when you look at the survey findings, the national prevalence rate for these hard drugs was below 0.1%. But for the coast prevalence rate, hashish was 0.4%. That is above 0.1. Cocaine was 0.9, and then heroin was 2.3. So hashish, cocaine, heroin, all of them as a region, we are above the national prevalence rate. So that is the situation as far as alcohol and hard drugs is concerned. So as leaders, we need to do something before we lose our whole generation. When you look at the issue of illicit brews, I'm also going to mention about the hotspots for illicit brews and other drugs. We have worked very closely with the National Government Administration and other government agencies like KRA, KEBS, and the Counterfeit Agency, and of course even the county government. And we have identified hotspots for illicit brews. And I'm going to mention these hotspots as per county. Starting with Tana River County, when it comes to illicit brewing, We have a number of hotspots in Tana River County, like a village called Mikinduni, Malindi Angwena, Kone Village, up to Kambiamoto, Boji, Mororo, and Madogo. Those are illicit brewing hotspots in Tana River County. In Mombasa County, we have illicit brewing hotspots, that is in Chuda, Moroto. For those who come from Mombasa, they understand this. Kachonjo, Kiziwi, Mutopanga, Bakaren, Mlaleo, Kashani, Junda, all the way to Bokole, Magongo, Bangladesh, and even Alidina in those sides of Miritini. In Lamu, we also have illicit brews hotspots. That is at Wioni, Manda, Maweni, Mararani, and Buzi Wengi. In Taita Taveta, we have a number of illicit brews hotspots from Mkuki, Kumtanga, Soko ya Zamani, Maweni, up to Uchichu village, in Choke sublocation. And in Kwale, the hotspots are Bombani village, Barabarani, Mivumoni, Mwabungo, up to Kasemeni. Those are the illicit illicit brews hotspot. We also have bank hotspots in these counties. Starting with Kwale, we have Lukore Center as a hotspot for bank consumption. Manyata still in Kwale, Sererani up to Horohoro border. In Taita Taveta, we have bank hotspots from that is at Taita Mwatate town, Mukuki, Burandogo, up to Sungululu. In Mombasa County, the hotspots for bank are the Old Town, Kachonjo, Shanzu, Bamburi, Utange, Kadogo, Bombolulu, Magongo, and of course Bangladesh and Mutongwe. In Lamu County, we have Mbuzi Wengi, Hindi, Wioni, Mkomani, Langoni, Kipungani, Matondoni, Mararani, and Manda, Maweni. Those are the hotspots for bank consumption. When it comes to the hard drugs, that is heroin, we have in Kwale, we have Vigunjini village, we have a place called GFS, Mwabungo, Darling, Mbuani, and Momamba. In Lamu County, the heroin hotspot is Kijitoni in Langoni location. In Mombasa County, the hotspot for heroin is the Old Town, Chuda, Majengo, Kingorani, Ganjoni, Kuze, Chaani, Magongo, Bangladesh, Mlaleo, Kisauni, and Mtopanga. In Kilifi, the heroin hotspots are Mnarani here in Kilifi town, Shela in Malindi, and Watamu. Your Excellency, last year between January and December, we worked very closely with the National Government Administration, and we were able to seize a number of illicit brews, that is a number of liters for illicit brews in this region. In Mombasa County, we were able to conduct 275 raids, and in total we seized 128,807 liters of assorted illicit brews. And this included Chang'aa, Kangara, Mnazi, Muratina, Busaa, Matingasi, Magasha, and Bangara. That is in Mombasa County. We seized a total of 128,807 liters. In Kwale, we were able to seize Mnazi and other traditional brews, totaling to 25,857 liters. In Kilifi County, we were able to conduct 31 raids there, and we were able to seize a total of 8,272 liters of assorted illicit brews, including Kangara, Chang'aa, and of course Mnazi. In Taita Taveta, we conducted 512 raids, and we were able to seize a total of 25,005 liters of assorted illicit brews. In Tana River, we conducted 25 raids, and we were able to seize 700 liters of assorted traditional liquors. And in Lamu, we conducted 259 raids, and we were able to seize a total of 8,385 liters of mkoma and other traditional brews. When it comes to the hard drugs, bang, heroin, cocaine, we were able to seize in Mombasa County 36 marijuana. We uprooted 36 marijuana plants, and then we are able to seize 87 big rolls of bang, and heroin. We were able to seize 2 sachets of heroin. In Kwale, we were able to seize 65 rolls of bang. In Kilifi, that's where we had the largest seizure of hard drugs, where we were able to seize 504 rolls of bang. We uprooted 367 marijuana plants. We were able to seize 838 kilograms of bang and 1,113 sticks of bang. We are also able to seize 96 sachets of heroin and 1 kilogram of heroin plus another sachet of 50 grams. In Taita Taveta, we were able to seize 295 rolls of bang. In Lamu, we were able to seize 31 rolls and uprooted 797 cannabis plants. Cocaine, we were able to seize 26 sachets, and then we were able to seize 30 grams of heroin and 10 grams of cocaine. On ethanol seizure, in collaboration with KRA, we had 2 seizures. That is one during the month of May, where 10 drums of ethanol were seized at Kibanda Asara along the Taveta border. And another one was seized in October, where 36 drums of ethanol were also seized, and the suspects were apprehended and taken to court. We also, in collaboration with the National Government Authority Administration and the other government agencies, that is KRA, KEBS, and counterfeit agencies, we were able to conduct a crackdown on liquor selling outlets, that is the inspection of liquor selling outlets, and a total number of 272 outlets were inspected. The total number of alcohol selling outlets closed due to non-conformity was 103. Non-conformity, maybe this could be they were operating without valid licenses. Others were operating in residential areas. Others were operating near learning institution. That is the 300-meter rule. So there are several parameters which we were looking. And I want to thank all the multi-agency teams that we work together in conducting these crackdowns. Your Excellency, as we are fighting this menace, we have been encountering a lot of challenges, and it is important that I highlight some of the challenges that we have been encountering. And one of the challenges is corruption. Your Excellency, some law enforcement officers are abusing alcohol and drugs, and some dishonest law enforcement officers also collect protection money from illicit brewers and drug peddlers. This is a challenge which needs to be addressed. And of course, we have cases where there are some officers engaging in licit or illicit trade of alcohol, especially via proxy, whereby an officer operates a bar using a spouse. So enforcing the law sometimes becomes a challenge when the bar owner is related to the law enforcement officer. We also have a challenge of lack of community ownership in the fight against alcohol and drug abuse in this region. There is a lot of information relay and leakage. There is lack of information sharing by the community for fear of victimization. That one is also contributing to making our campaign a challenge. And of course, sometimes we get threats from some dealers who are violent and dangerous, posing a threat to enforcement officers. We also have another challenge where there is proliferation of Defense Forces Canteen Organization products in the public markets, especially alcohol products that are a preserve of the disciplined forces